Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to crochet this beautiful headband today. First we work on the crochet flower, then I will show you how to crochet the headband, and then we will assemble it together step by step. We are going to start on the setup row for our flower. Today I am using a 4mm crochet hook today. To get going, I am starting with a magic circle. This is how I do my magic circle. I put the yarn clockwise around my finger, then I put it counterclockwise around my middle finger, just like this. I insert my hook into the magic circle, and then I grab the yarn, I pull it through, and then I chain one. And to start our flower, we will crochet 10 single crochets into the magic circle. Here is our first single crochet. I'm going ahead and mark it with a stitch marker. Now we need to single crochet 9 more single crochets. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now you have a total of 10 single crochets. Now that we have 10 single crochets in our magic ring, go ahead and pull your magic ring tight, and we are going to slip stitch into our first stitch. So I'm going to remove my stitch marker right here, and I'm going to insert my hook into the first stitch, and we will do a slip stitch. So that was our setup row. We're gonna start with round number 1. We're gonna start out with chain 1 for round number 1. To get started, we are going to do 1 single crochet into this very first stitch that we just did a chain 1 on right here. That was our single crochet to start out round 1. I'm going to go ahead and mark it with my stitch marker. And in the pattern, you will see that the next 5 stitches are all put in parentheses, which means that all 5 stitches will go into this next second stitch here for round 1. To get started, we're going to do 1 half double crochet. So in the pattern you see HDC, that stands for half double crochet. This is it. Next up, we're going to do a double crochet, and that's the DC in the pattern. Yarn over, pull your loop. You have 3 loops on your hook right now. You'll pull through 2, yarn over, and you pull through 2 again. That is your double crochet. Then we're going to do a treble crochet, which is going to be 2 yarn overs onto your hook. Then into the same stitch, we're going to pull our yarn. Now we have 4 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over, go through another 2 loops, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 more loops. So after the treble crochet, we're going to do a double crochet. So 1 yarn over, go through the same stitch, pull up your yarn. You have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 loops. That was your double crochet, and we're gonna end this stitch with a half double crochet, yarn over, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook, and you're gonna yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. That was our pattern repeat for round number 1. So you're gonna do that a total of 5 times. So let's go ahead and do it together one more time. Here we're gonna do our single crochet, followed by the next 5 stitches going into the next stitch right here. Here's our half double crochet, followed by our double crochet. Then we're gonna do our treble crochet, then we're gonna do a double crochet, and finish off with a half double crochet. Now we have 2 out of the 5 petals done. Go ahead and continue to do that 3 more times, and I will meet you on the other side. This is what my flower looks like after round number 1. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my stitch marker that marked the first stitch, and I'm gonna insert my hook, and we're gonna get started with round number 2. So here I'm going to change the color of my yarn for round number 2. So I don't slip stitch with the first color, but I slip stitch with my second color, and I will chain 1 to get started. Just like in round number 1, we're going to go single crochet into our first stitch that we just chained in. And for this stitch number 2 right here, we're going to do 2 crochets in there. So the first one is a half double crochet. This is your half double, followed by a double crochet. So you can see in the pattern that the half double and the double are in parentheses. That means they go into the same stitch. Now into the next stitch, you see it says 2DC in the pattern. So you will do 2 double crochets into this next stitch right here. That was number 1, and here's our second double crochet. Then we're gonna follow with 2 treble crochet into the stitch right here. This is our first treble crochet. And here is our second treble crochet. The pattern is going to continue with 2 double crochets into the next pattern. So that's the 2DC. Here's 1, and here is number 2. And in the last stitch, we're going to do a double crochet, and we're going to finish off with a half double crochet. And that is your pattern repeat for round number 2. Your flower is really starting to take shape, and we're going to do this pattern repeat for round 2 4 more times for a total of 5 times. Here I've done my 5th time, and you're going to slip stitch into that first mark stitch that we had. And now you can cut off your yarn, and you can hide your tail. Your flower is done. Here we go. Let's get started on crocheting our headband. So this is Tunisian crochet, and you don't need a Tunisian crochet hook. Even though I'm using one right here, you can use your regular crochet hook. And what you're going to do is you're going to start out by chaining 10 stitches onto your elastic band. So you just go underneath your elastic band, and then you pull a loop. So here I'm at 3 loops, 4, I got 5 loops here, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now that we have 10 loops on our elastic, we're going to do our standard return pass with a yarn over, pull through 1 loop, and then you will yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops all the way until the end of the row. So you always start out your standard return pass with a yarn over and pulling through 1 loop. In the remaining row, you would do a yarn over and pull through 2 loops until you have only 1 loop left. After our standard return pass, we're going to do the setup row. We're going to ignore this first vertical bar, and we're going to yarn over and go through the next 2 vertical bars and pull up a loop. Yarn over, put your needle through the next 2 vertical bars, pull your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way until the end of the row. Here at the end of the row is your edge stitch. You have to make sure that you're going to catch both the front and the back stitch. Right, here's the second one. Now you have both loops, you're going to yarn over and pull through a loop. So that was your setup row. Now we're going to enjoy doing our standard return pass, which starts out with our yarn over, pulling through 1 loop, and then for the remaining row we're going to do yarn over and pull through 2 loops. I love doing the return pass. It's very relaxing. Now we're going to do our forward pass, just like in the first forward pass. We're going to skip vertical bar number 1. We're going to yarn over and we're going to put our needle through the next 2 vertical bars, and you can see that the second one is kind of hidden in the back, so you have to kind of like pull it apart and see it. It forms kind of like a V shape. So here is the front and here is the back. Between the front and the back, it's kind of like a V shape. So pull your yarn through that, yarn over, put your needle through the front and the back bar, pull your loop, yarn over, if it's hard for you to see, you can kind of pull it apart a little bit and you see the V shape. Here's the front bar and here's the back bar, and you're going to pull up a yarn, and then for the edge stitch we're going to do our yarn over and make sure that you're going to catch the front and the back stitch right there, front and the back loop, I guess, of the edge stitch. Here we go. That is your pattern repeat. Now we're going to do our standard return pass, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way until the end of the row. So I made this one for my daughter. She's 10 years old, and let's measure it and see how long it is. And you need to adjust the length of it depending on the head size. So this is in inches. This is 17 inches long, and that would be 43 centimeters in length. So I'm gonna finish my last return pass here, and then I'm gonna finish off the headband. To finish off the headband, I will crochet the end to the elastic band. So you just put your needle through the headband and you pull up a loop, just kind of like how you did it in the beginning, and you pull up a loop and then you will single crochet the stitch. So put the needle through, pull a loop, and then single crochet to finish it off. And you do that all the way until the end. Here on the edge stitch, just like before, I'm going to try to grab both edge stitches, and I'm going to pull one last yarn and do my last single crochet. And you can go ahead and cut off your yarn and weave in the tail on the back side. So this is your headband. It is ready to go. To weave in the tail, I just go in the back and I'm gonna go with my needle underneath a few loops, and I'll go back through a few times, and that should do it. Here I was contemplating how many flowers I'm gonna put on the headband, but I think for the head size of my daughter, I'm just gonna use one flower, and you should have the tail end from the start of making your flower in the magic ring. So use that and sew on your flower onto the headband. And I just do a couple stitches on the bottom just to attach it together. And then just like the way I would put on a button, I actually put the yarn, I loop it a couple times around the bottom, and then I make another couple stitches just to secure it so it doesn't fall off when she jumps around or so. And that is your finished headband with a beautiful, cute flower. If you like this tutorial, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment. And if you have any questions, just comment below and I will try to answer them for you. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I will see you guys next time.